Oh, and they say never change a winning team. Your seamers have gone well for you here. Do you stick with that plan?
Yeah, our seamers have gone really well. I think we've come into this tournament with an open-mindedness about the conditions that we come up against, and I think that'll be no different tomorrow. We're playing on a fresh wicket, which has a really good covering of grass. So it's sort of changed over the last 2 games a little bit, I think, yeah.
And in terms of the experience you have had here, 11 days in Delhi, 2 games on this pitch, do you think that will help you?
I think it will, yeah. We've become quite settled in Delhi, and it's been good to us. We've had fantastic support, a fantastic following, and ultimately we've grown used to the pitch a lot more than probably the first game we were here, which was probably a little bit drier and completely different circumstances to that of the 180.
You're 1 game away from leading England into a World T20 final. How do you feel? Does the occasion change the way you approach it? Do you feel nervous, excited?
No, I feel excited. I don't feel like I'm close to a World Cup final. I think it's a really good place to be, because I'm not getting too far ahead of ourselves. We've got a really tough game tomorrow against a strong New Zealand side who have probably played the best cricket of the tournament so far in their group stages. So we're going to have to come up with a very strong game of cricket tomorrow to beat New Zealand.
Oh, and with the way your seamers have gone and bowling 16 overs of seam in the last game, is it in your planning to think that ball toss south you might sort of be unwrapped for this game?
I think potentially. I don't think we can rule anything out. Their game plan throughout the tournament has been to go with their frontline spinners, which has worked for them. So I don't know, I'll leave that decision up to them.
And given the sort of lack of tournament experience that we've talked about in the past, is it a good comfort for you guys to have the likes of Collie and Fabrice and Trevor, who've all had T20 winning experience in their past, to sort of lean on for a bit of experience?
Yeah, I think so. I think the sort of general mindset we've come in to this tournament with has been, you know what, you might go from playing no games to 1 game in the whole tournament, and that might be the case. So guys who are missing out, you just encourage them to prepare to play every game. And I think the guys who have played a lot and are almost guaranteed their spots to help guys along. And I think the backroom staff has helped that. TB's had a great amount of experience in IPL, so knows what it's been like left out or having to come in and put in a match-winning performance along the line. So I think that's important as well.
Owen, at the halfway stage of the game against South Africa, you needed 230 essentially to stay in the tournament. Did you imagine you'd be sitting here now talking about a semi-final?
I didn't think a great amount. Yeah, I didn't think about a great amount at that time. It was about chasing down the total as opposed to anything else. I tend not to get too far ahead of myself or talk to the team about too far down the line. I think tomorrow is about keeping things simple and taking every ball by ball and trying to win every battle.
Has coming through 3 scares essentially in the last 3 games given you that confidence and belief that you can do it again if the situation arises?
I think it shows the amount of character that we have within the group. I think we haven't had to repeat the same things twice, so it shows different sides to every person's almost personality and what they've got as opposed to just what they do on a day-to-day basis. And I think that shows that the group as a whole can be very powerful if we string a game together.
Owen, follow up to Lawrence's question in a way, can you believe how far England have come in white ball cricket since you were sitting contemplating a defeat in the World Cup last year?
How far we've come, absolutely not. No, I didn't think. I mean, I've been asked the question a couple of times after every series that we've played, and I can't quite believe where we are overall with our one-day cricket and our T20 cricket. I think the guys that we've selected have done outstandingly well. They've showed a great amount of attitude in learning, because it's not always easy. You come up against very strong sides who knock you back on a day-to-day basis, but every question that's been asked of us, we've come back with either a counter answer or a more aggressive option.
That series against New Zealand last summer, the one-day series, was pretty incredible, and it was kind of the point at which the white ball fortune started turning. I mean, how influential was the way that New Zealand played their cricket in kind of deciding how we wanted to play our cricket, and how important was that series in the development of this side?
Yeah, I think that series was very important. I mean, coming into this series, we talked about emulating what Australia and New Zealand did at the World Cup, and from where we were and where they were miles away. So in order to bridge the gap, we had to try and emulate the fashion in which they played and the aggressive nature in which they went about their game, particularly with the ball. I think throughout the World Cup, their swing bowlers, I thought, were outstanding, and that encourages a positive mindset throughout everything that you do. I think with the bat, it can come more naturally. So they did play a key part in that, yeah, absolutely.
Owen, I think I'm right in saying that you've been in 2 semi-finals before with England in 2010 and 2013 and won them both. What have you learned from those experiences that you can bring to bear in the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think certainly my experience of getting to any knockout stage of a tournament is that you've done the hard work, and it's almost now you earn the license to go out and express yourself as much as you can. And to me, that attitude means getting the best out of yourself. So if you have guys coming out who are very relaxed about performing on the big stage, I think that takes a lot of weight off their shoulders.
Would it be fair to say as well, obviously New Zealand got to the final of the 50 over World Cup, have won all 4 games in this tournament, played in different venues. They'd be going into this game as favourites. Is that a good place for your team to be?
To be honest, it doesn't really bother us. We went into the Sri Lanka game as favourites, so I mean it's going to be a tough game of cricket. I hope the wicket's as good as it looks, and may the best side win.
As the one survivor in this team from the 2010 success in West Indies, are there any similarities you see between this group now and that group then?
Yeah, quite a few actually. The main one would be how relaxed everybody is around the group, how much they're enjoying the challenge of playing international cricket at the moment, and I think their hunger to win. It's all right having fun and enjoying what you're doing, but if you don't have that inner drive to always want to improve and to win games of cricket, you'll stand still for a long time. But this side has showed strengths, which are similar to that 2010 team.
I think I'm right to say England have scored more runs than any other team in the group stages, but also conceded more runs. Does that say anything about your team or the way you're playing? Or
from here on in, if we keep scoring more than we concede, we'll be all right. No, here our strength probably up until the T20s in South Africa was our batting. Coming out of South Africa, our bowlers were brilliant. I mean, we didn't give them a lot to play with, but they came up with different ideas and different ways of stopping people scoring, and the main one was taking wickets, and that's something that we've tried to encourage for a very long time. And I think tomorrow, if the wicket's as good as it looks, we'll have to come up with different ideas and different skills of stopping New Zealand scoring runs. So that experience alone should hold some good stead tomorrow.
Here. A few years back, do you think your batters were also creating impact, but more on your technique, high left elbow and ball on head on ball? But nowadays, you are creating more impact by playing aggressive cricket, fearless cricket. Do you think so? That change has come?
I think that change has come. Yeah. Any other questions you'd like to elaborate a bit?
The New Zealand is the unbeatable team till now, and they are in almost all fielding and spins, all is very good now. How you think that you are going to tame them, because their morale is very high, and is there any special plan to beat them tomorrow?
I think the plan is to play better than them and adapt to the wicket here.
Okay, are we done? Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.